Hello, Vern here at Green Street. Today I'm just shooting a little video. I'm having a lot of requests, a lot of phone calls coming in. Guys fixing in the backyard a little bit, I guess. Just like myself, when something goes wrong, we like to have a look at it, see if we can fix it ourselves. Quite often we do. But I thought maybe I'd give a short little video just to kind of show people a little bit of an idea what to do on that front. I'm just going to do the basics, but I might jump around here with the camera a little bit, but hopefully we can make this video work for you. So first of all, we come to the bike and the bike won't turn on. Turning the key, nothing will happen. So on various bikes have different gauges, but when you turn the key on, you should see that gauge go up and down. So what do I do? What do I do? What happened? Okay, well, with this bike, I've simulated a few things, but for the first thing you would do with that was you would try the key, and if none of the accessories, you turn the key on and the lights don't work and the horn doesn't work, nothing's working, then something's wrong for sure. So what I would suggest to you is, for one, you can open the seat. Now, I have opened the seat here, and I've kind of got things kind of flipped around here to show you inside, but underneath the seat, you have a breaker switch, and on that breaker switch you have an on-off switch, so you can check to see whether your breaker switch is on or off. Sometimes those switches get knocked off by a lady's purse or something inside there, shuts it off, and then it will quit. Another thing can happen is there can be a short circuit, or maybe the bike got too hot and the breaker popped off, which is a safety device built into an e-bike. So if that is turned on and everything looks good there, so we go back down, and what we have to do here now, for most of us, we don't have a voltmeter ready waiting, so what we have to do is we have to kind of use our charger. So what a lot of people say to me is, my charger won't work, or my charger works, it goes green showing the battery's charged. Well, that doesn't always mean that you have a charged battery. You can have a green light on your charger, like this one is, if the plug is not plugged into the bike. And if you plug into the bike and the battery is not connected, or something is wrong, the battery charger will still sit there, and quite often they'll flash like that. But if I turn the key on the bike and try to run the bike a little bit, that light will go red more. What that's telling me, and in a lot of bikes, if you plug that charger in, the rear wheel will turn. So in this case, I have disconnected the battery pack, and I've just plugged the charger into the bike. And what that'll do is it'll make the bike work, but not very efficiently. But at least it tells me that the bike works. So if I disconnect the bike and with the charger and the bike quits, well, then I know from my experience that the problem lies usually in the battery pack. Where are all your batteries? So I have to chase the batteries, take them out of the bike. In this case, the battery pack lifts out of the bike, and the next thing I check is I check this plug-in that goes to the bottom of the battery. Now, these two outside terminals are the only two terminals that have power on them. The center one's just a support. Some people call it a ground, but there's not really any wire connected to it. And it plugs in to the bottom of the battery pack. So I have to make sure that that's plugged in. So I make sure of that first. Well, then I have to take the batteries. If that's plugged in all right, well, then you've got problems inside the battery pack, and then you have to take the top off the battery. There is a few other things that you can check. What I generally do with it is, if the batteries look okay, and I use a meter on everything, but if you're just checking it at home and you don't know what to do, well, then I would suggest maybe calling me at Green Street here. You can catch me at 705-775-4545. I'm anytime you want to answer any questions, I'm willing to help you out. Now, if you do know how to run a voltmeter, I'm going to continue on here and just kind of show you a little bit of what you can do. what you can do when the bike is turned off, you can check. This is the charge port going into the bike. And you've got three terminals in here, but the two outside terminals, you can put a voltmeter on that and read the voltage to that plug. And there should be live voltage there all the time. So if you've got no voltage there, then again, I have to check the battery pack. Most cases it leads back into the battery pack. But we get into the battery pack and we can look on the bottom of the battery pack. Now I'm going to try and lift this up a bit. It's kind of heavy and I'm plunking around here, but I hope everybody can bear with me. On the bottom of the battery pack, you also have a plug-in that plugs into this little plug-in over here. So you have to, again, you can check those two terminals in there and check to see if you've got voltage. If you've got voltage there, but no voltage over here on the bike, well then you must have something wrong in between. And that's where, yeah, I just had a fella call me today and he was asking me about these plugs. So you want to really inspect these plugs and make sure there's no burnt or bubbling going on. It's nice to be able to see a little shiny, the shiny terminals down in there. You know, they'll probably make a pretty good connection. This one looks really good. I've actually replaced the plug on one of them before. But this is kind of something that we do, and this is on the e-bikes where the battery packs are removable. So this pack is removable, and we can actually get into the batteries and see whether there's something. Now, if you have no power here and you don't know what to do from there, I would suggest that you stop there and take it to a repair shop and have them check that battery pack, or take the whole bike. But you know, for the easy preliminaries at home, you can actually pull your battery pack out, check these terminals, and check this. You know, even if you don't have a voltmeter, just check the position on them, and then check that terminal. Hope this helps you. Leave a comment below if you like this video. Just another point I'm pointing out on this battery chargers and these bikes. Generally, you want to really kind of know what your battery voltage is. So different bikes have different voltages. You know, this particular bike is a 48 volt, but we've got many bikes with 60 and 72, and I've seen them up as high as 96 volts now. So there's a lot of different voltages out there. Now the easiest way is most battery chargers will have it written right on it what voltage it is, so that would generally mean that your bike is a 48 volt bike. But again, if you don't know, you should have somebody check it, you know, and answer that, because you know that's something that you need to know in the future when you're looking at electric bikes, because there's all kinds of different voltages. Generally 48, 60 and 72 volts nowadays, but could be anything. Another thing I wanted to mention too, with these plugs, when you're looking at these plugs, this cord needs to be checked. I've seen them, you know, when they're putting the batteries in and out, they'll get cut, and I've seen them cut in here, so they'll get really flimsy in here. So if you have a bike that doesn't get in connection, you want to check that connector in there. I have replaced these plugs a few times, but you know, you want to make sure that that's good. Another thing, that if you had no voltage down here on the charge terminal on the bike, you also can lift the seat up and check down in here to the back of the plug. You see on this one, the back of the plug comes out. So I have seen these wires get broke back here, and so customer will say, well, the battery doesn't seem to be charging, or the light's staying green on my charger. Now, if the batteries are okay in the bike, which can be, this can be the whole problem right here, just one of these wires coming off. So if you have to get the seat off, that's usually not too hard, 4 or 5 bolts and off it comes. But they're right down in there where all the dirt and all the crap gets in. You can see the dirt down in here, and it gets all over everything, so that can be a problem as well.